Welcome, dear listeners. I'm Jonathan Carlin.
And I'm Benjamin Carlin.
And we invite you to join us through the Griffin door, your one-way ticket to the enchanting world of Harry Potter. So grab your wands and dust off your broomsticks and join us as we unlock the dark corridors inside Order of the Phoenix, Chapter 25, The Beetle at Bay.
Ha! I was mouthing along with you the entire time. I wonder if Ethan put the camera on me at all.
I bet now he's going to.
Now he's going to have to.
Yeah, because you said it. I know.
Sometimes I like to get theatrical while you're doing it because I know that I have like pure anonymity.
Right.
Anyway. So yeah.
They know who you are.
No, they don't. Do they?
They do. I mean, if they're watching, they'd see you do it, right?
I think that he puts the camera on you that whole time. So yeah, then
maybe not.
Maybe not. I mean,
right.
I just get to do it. I can do anything I want.
You can do whatever you want over there, man. You know.
Okay. Anyway, so the Beetle at Bay. If we're looking at our chapter art here, we get probably what I have to imagine is the only chapter art that features Harry and Cho and a cherub.
Yeah, I mean, for sure that's true. I think it's maybe the only time Cho is in chapter art.
Could be. Yes, yes, indeed. Here at Madame Puttyfoot's. And you see the cherub up there, which is what you kind of have to imagine what Gilderoy Lockhart was going for back in year 2 when he had like the dwarves wearing the wings or something. That it does feel like maybe that was sort of like his rough approximation. I wonder if that's like where like Gilderoy was like maybe like poor with like money. Because it's like Gilderoy has this like bizarre legacy where like even like in a few chapters ago when we run into him at St. Mungo's, the healer on the floor is sort of like, it's like, oh, he used to be fairly famous a few years back. And it's sort of like, yeah, people know who Gilderoy Lockhart is.
Right. Yeah. Like he's probably still famous.
I mean, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it would almost, if anything, be slightly unlikely that the word would have fully and completely gotten out.
I know, right?
Like other than he had a bad accident and doesn't have his memories anymore.
Right. But like even I think in this book, Mrs. Weasley is still using a Gilderoy Lockhart book.
She is, yeah, when they're cleaning out number 12 Grimmauld Place.
Right.
Like the pests and how to find them or something.
Which presumably is accurate information, even if stolen.
Yes, right. Yeah. That's what you have to assume. That's what you have to assume. Anyway, so so you've got like a cherub going on. There's all the confetti that's falling into Harry's hair, and it does not look like either Harry or Cho is really having the world's greatest time.
Well, it's not. It's a pretty super awkward, cringy teenager date that happens in this chapter here on Valentine's Day, and I stare at this chapter art, and it just makes me so sad. Because I just so badly wish Harry and Cho had like one good date, you know, like there was like a moment where it was like, okay, at least this 3-year buildup has paid off some.
Right.
And it's like, you could say, well, they did kiss under the mistletoe. And it's like, you could say that, but it's not like Harry walks away and he's like walking on cloud 9 or anything. He's like, I guess I just kissed a girl, but
Right. Yes. It's like even that experience it's like lessened entirely in every way by the I hate to say the word, but the wetness of the kiss.
The wetness.
Yeah. It's just like, I know. And I wrote like a little paragraph here on my page because I was like, I just feel like in some ways I do get frustrated that Harry and Cho never really get a chance, but this may also be part of like the point. You know, like it's yet another normal thing, like normal in air quotes there, that like Voldemort is stealing from Harry's adolescence.
Right.
You know, it's just like every part of like what should have been Harry's life just getting to be your everyday run of the mill, ups, downs, all arounds, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like it's like he just doesn't get to like experience even that. Because the thing that's really going to throw off the state from going well is like the bringing up of like Cedric and
Hermione
and Hermione. And the reason that like both
they're
of
true
those,
loves.
Yes, obviously. But the reason that like, you know, Cedric in particular is a big problem between these two people is because Voldemort killed him.
Yes.
You know, or I guess Wormtail technically did with Voldemort's wand.
Right.
But still, you know, and it's just, and you know, like what Hermione is out there doing, and the reason that it's so vital that Harry meets with her on this day in particular is to get the word out to Rita Skeeter about Voldemort.
I know. I think it also plays into like the like the miscalculations of Dumbledore of it all, because at the end of this book, he's going to actually tell him the prophecy, which reveals to Harry that he's the chosen one.
Right.
And he's like, and when you think about it, it's like that, like Dumbledore's reasoning for not telling him sooner is that he wanted Harry to be able to experience a normal childhood and like live out as much of his life as he could before he had the absolute burden of being the chosen one put on his shoulders.
Right.
And it's like, it's a really nice sentiment, but like throughout this book, it is just wildly clear that Dumbledore has miscalculated here. Because on the one hand, if he'd been honest with Harry at any point and just told him what's in the Department of Mysteries, why you might be lured there, like any of this stuff, he wouldn't have gone there. But it's like, he doesn't tell him because like in the name of this. And as a result, Sirius dies,
right?
You know, and right here, it's like, he's trying to let him have a normal childhood or whatever. And it's like this, you're right. It would be considered maybe like a normal thing. It's Valentine's Day. You're 15. You're going to the village with, you know, you've asked out a girl for the first time, but it's like even the things that should be normal, they're already not normal because of Voldemort. It's like Dumbledore can say he's trying to do it and like let Harry have it, but he's completely misguided because it's already way past the ability to be normal.
Right. There's no room left on the table for that to follow through. And as that date unfolds, it was something that I was paying more close attention to this go round. Because like a lot of times when I think about Harry and Cho's date, it's uncomfortable, it's cringy, it probably like rustles up feelings of your own awkwardness.
It does feel familiar, sadly.
It does. Yes. I mean, there's just pieces of it that are like, yeah. But also it is the Cedric of it all. It's Voldemort is just as much on this date as Harry and Cho are.
I mean, that's the thing. And that's the thing about Harry's entire life is that neither can live while the other survives. And like, this is kind of what that means.
Right. You're right. Like, and we don't ever think of it as like this like curse, because I just don't think that's like quite the right term.
Yeah. Especially not in a book that has real curses.
Exactly. Yeah. But it does kind of feel that way. It's like every time Harry is supposed to have something like good happening, it's almost like even being selected for like the Triwizard Tournament, it's like some people might see that as like a good thing, but it's like it gets turned on him so quickly. It's like, you know, his best friend gets mad at him over it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you know, like, you know, he can be the hero. He shows up in his first year and he like takes down Voldemort in the basement of the school. And there's naturally the whole school knows aspect of it. And then they go and win the House Cup and everything's wonderful. And he's the youngest Quidditch seeker in a century, and he catches the snitch in his first ever match. And like, then he gets the Chamber of Secrets and promptly the whole school thinks he's the heir of Slytherin.
Right.
And it's just like, he can't win for losing.
Exactly. And that's just sort of how Harry's entire life goes while Voldemort is around. It's like, even if you want to like say the Triwizard Tournament's a great one, because it's like, Harry's in the tournament, which is Voldemort's doing.
Right.
And it's like, Cedric is a problem on this date because Voldemort killed him. But like, if Harry's name wasn't in the tournament, he might have just asked Cho sooner because there wouldn't be all this pressure or something. You know,
also true. Yes.
It'd be like, school dance. That's just fun.
That's just a fun thing. Who would I ask?
Who would I ask? And obviously that would be it. But there wouldn't be the pressure to dance in front of everyone or anything.
Right.
You know,
yes.
Like you just maybe be able to do it, and then whatever. You know.
But no.
Yeah. But no.
Anyway, so as we come out of chapter 24, of course, the last thing that we would have had happened is that sensation of Voldemort being happier than he had been in 14 years. And at the time, it's a bit of a cliffhanger because we don't know exactly what has caused such happiness in Voldemort from so far away, but it won't take any further than the next morning to discover. So
no, it will not.
We will get to that in just 1 second. But before we do so, Jay, would you like to kick off with our first sentence?
Well, of course. Harry's question was answered the very next morning, and then the dragons arrived. So I hope he enjoyed the answer.
Yes, right. It's like, oh boy, oh no, oh no.
But in some way, the dragons have arrived because the news is actually that the Death Eaters have broken out of Azkaban.
Yes, indeed. That is exactly correct. And this is sort of going to be like that. It feels like what should be the necessary egg on face for Fudge and Umbridge and the Prophet and the Ministry.
Yes.
And really everyone who has been slandering Harry and Dumbledore's name all year long.
Yeah.
And it is kind of remarkable the way that the press is going to spin this story right away.
Right away. They are going to come up with a different press government approved version of events.
That's right. Yep. So we get a couple little blips here about Antonin Dolohov, who says is convicted for the brutal murders of Gideon and Fabian Pruitt, which is the kind of thing you can only imagine how Molly is feeling opening the newspaper on this particular day.
I know. And it's like not only Molly, it's like, I mean, technically these are Ron's uncles,
Also Ron's uncles.
He's sitting there at the table. And if you'll recall, Antonin Dolohov is the one who actually kills them, but it says it took 5 Death Eaters to take them down. And it also lists it as brutal, which makes you wonder, like, well, is Avada Kedavra itself brutal, or was there like more to it? But the other thing Antonin Dolohov is known for is having tortured like a wide number of Muggles and non-Voldemort supporters. So you can only imagine that the death of Gideon and Fabian Pruitt was long and drawn out and accompanied by the Cruciatus Curse as well.
Yeah, I think that definitely sounds like it would all, that seems like it would all fit to me for sure. Yeah. And then you get Augustus Rookwood, who is a member of the Ministry of Magic. And this is kind of an interesting one because I feel like Rookwood will, in my head, I feel like becomes more just like your classic Death Eater type person. But it says convicted of leaking ministry secrets to he who must not be named, which doesn't altogether feel violent.
It doesn't. This is the guy who was also using Luda Bagman.
Okay. Oh, yes. Right. You're right. Yes. So that's the situation that we would go back to at that, where like Ludo was sort of like, well, I didn't know,
Yeah, I thought he was on our side or whatever.
Yes, exactly. And so that's kind of like one of those where it's like, just keep like an eye on Rookwood. Does like he become more violent? Because to me, if I were to imagine a situation like Rookwood happening in the real world, this is somebody who is conveniently placed at a job to where they may have intel that if the Death Eaters discovered could like put pressure on him, by threatening his family or safety or just physically harming him into passing secrets.
Right.
In which case it's like you could assume that this is somebody who is just as easily like a victim as much as they could be a Death Eater.
Right.
But obviously it seems like as the story will unfold, he's just a Death Eater.
Yeah, no, he's a full-on Death Eater. They're also going to name, or like Harry will name for us, Bellatrix Lestrange, as well as the only witch, which retroactively will, I guess, no, we've already confirmed that she was the witch in the Pensive. I don't think she's name dropped when she's introduced.
She might not be, but she does always sort of have that like heavily lidded, almost beautiful, if not for, like, and then the arrogant, disdainful smile. It seems like she has certain like characteristics that are always, attributed to her.
Yes. And then, the other 7 are not named, but we can at least assume, we know for sure that 2 of the other ones are Rabaston and Rodolphus Lestrange, who are also convicted with Bellatrix.
Right. So that's going to be her husband and brother-in-law.
Right. And then along with them, there's actually a cool essay on the Harry Potter lexicon where they have just like figured out who the other Death Eaters are.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Just sort of like by process of elimination. So we can also find out that this is where Gibbon, Jugson, Thornfinn Rowell, Travers, Mulciber, and that's all of them. Those are the other ones. Yes, that are also escapees on this night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, fun fact is that I guess when this book was first published on the UK edition, instead of saying Augustus Rookwood, it said Algernon Rookwood.
Algernon.
Algernon.
Okay. I kind of like Algernon.
I know, but they've corrected it since then.
Oh, sure enough. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, upon hearing this particular piece of news, the Daily Prophet is going to immediately go to work because they're put in the position of either being like, hey, we were wrong, turns out Dumbledore was right the whole time, or alternatively, how about we blame it on Sirius Black?
Because we never caught him.
Right, yeah. And it's like, I hate it because there is a piece of me that, inside of the fictional universe where I know all of the facts, it's like you're looking at a story and you're like, well, this is just a load of crap. Like, it's just incorrect. And it's incorrect. Like, you were lying. But then at the same rate, like, you look at it and you're like, I could see where this article would happen.
Right.
Like, because, like you're going to start to be like introducing the details that is sort of like Sirius Black is still on the run as far as we're concerned. We don't know where he is, which is technically true because they don't know where he is.
And everyone did believe, including like Dumbledore and Lupin, that he was guilty of the crimes he was convicted of.
Right. And so so people assumed that he was associated with Lord Voldemort and that he escaped, and being the only person who's ever escaped, it's like almost certainly he was in cahoots with their breakout.
Especially when one of them is his cousin.
And so it's like, everything starts to like look real bad real fast. And you're like, well, I can see how this narrative came together.
It's very believable.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is. Which is unfortunate, because it's like you don't want things that aren't true to be believable, but I guess that happens.
Right. Then you have to imagine this is also a really bad day for Neville, whose parents are name dropped under the Bellatrix Lestrange description as well.
Yeah. There is not a lot of protection going on here towards the like people who were negatively afflicted inside of these situations.
There's absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like maybe keep some anonymity there,
right?
Like
exactly.
that could be good. People probably don't want to be famous for this,
right? What is crazy though is that like all these Death Eaters break out, and the Ministry like they're like looking for them, I guess, but it's not like this ends up helping Dumbledore's cause at all. Like the Ministry being on the lookout for these Death Eaters doesn't seem to like help.
Yeah, no, because I mean, it doesn't seem like they will end up really. Well, I guess they will end up catching some of them after the Battle of the Department of Mysteries.
Yes, but at that point, but it's like. That's still just down to the Order of the Phoenix.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yes. But yeah, so they get through the article, and the very last thing does say, on no account should any of these individuals be approached. So I guess at the very least they do offer some amount of like, they are dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. It also just randomly lists, it says, speaking to reporters, plural, in his private office, Cornelius Fudge, Minister of Magic, confirmed that 10 high security prisoners, blah, blah, blah. What is interesting to me there is that it's reporters, plural, as if the Daily Prophet sent more than one person to talk to him, or otherwise it indicates multiple publications available in the wizarding world.
Oh, you know? Right. Yes, true. Yes. It's like, is he holding a press conference?
I know, right. Do you have the Daily Prophet and which weekly were there? Or
Right. Yes. What is the name of Rita Skeeter's like little henchman guys at Bozo?
Oh, Bozo.
Yeah. I just imagine Bozo being there, who's like picked up the mantle now that Rita's like sidelined.
Right. He's like, there taking notes. I guess Rita could have been there. She just can't report on it,
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Still has the press pass.
Yeah. And then Ron's just like, there you are, Harry. That's why he was happy last night. It's like, yeah, I got that, Ron.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
The phrasing of there you are, Harry sounds an awful lot like he's handing him like, a Christmas gift.
I know.
Like, there you are, Harry.
We figured it out. Look at that. Good for us.
I know. Pass the kippers, won't you?
Yeah. Pass the kippers. They do have such a like convenient scapegoat, because this is like, if Sirius wasn't like, if he'd just been proven innocent, then this would obviously be a giant problem. It'd have to be like, oh yeah, it probably was Voldemort,
right?
But it's also like they're going to bring up later in the chapter that the Dementors aren't out searching for all of these people all this time, and it's like, no one else seems to piece that together. And it's like, the Ministry must realize the Dementors aren't working for them.
Right.
Like, what do they think's going on? They just think Sirius is controlling the Dementors?
Everything is Sirius Black's fault.
Everything is Sirius Black's fault, of course.
Like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands.
Exactly.
But then you kind of also get this, like, it's like an oddly true phenomenon as well. And I think this happens, it happens to everybody because there's no way for it not to. But like when you're looking at the plot through the lens of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and the Order of the Phoenix, and Dumbledore, and it's the battle against Voldemort, you're like, what could be more important? But then it says, Harry looked around the Great Hall. He could not understand why his fellow students were not looking as scared, or at least discussing the terrible piece of news on the front page.
Right.
And this is, it's like, think about it. It's like, how many days do you wake up and you could check your email or check the headlines or whatever. Something terrible happened in the world, and you might still go out to dinner with your buddies that night.
Right.
Like, and it's just like, it's like it's almost as if like if you were to halt your life for every bad thing that happened in the world, you would never do anything.
Right.
Like, which is it's a hard way to look at it. But for like a lot of these students, it probably is just sort of like, we've got exams. Like, it's not our responsibility. Like this is other people's stuff.
Right. And otherwise people just didn't don't all get the newspaper and stuff. They don't have like such free flowing information.
Right. Also true. Yeah. But Harry does glance up at the staff table, and it was a different story. Where Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall were deep in conversation, both looking extremely grave.
Yeah. I also think the rest of the school's like failure to take notice or like make it an immediate concern of their own is another example, which maybe this chapter is just rife with them, of like, Harry, it's like the neither can live with the other survives. It's like Harry, like all the other students of Hogwarts are just having a regular breakfast, having their regular high school day-to-day life, but not Harry.
Right. Yeah.
Harry,
true.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yes. It's like this is supposed to be a chapter that's really like tackling what could be Harry's normalcy.
Right.
Yeah. But then at the far end of the table, Professor Umbridge was tucking into a bowl of porridge. For once, her pouchy toad's eyes were not sweeping the Great Hall looking for misbehaving students. She scowled as she gulped down her food, and every now and then she shot a malevolent glance up the table to Dumbledore and McGonagall, to where Dumbledore and McGonagall were talking so intently.
This is such a paragraph because it's like Umbridge so knows that she's full of it,
Yes.
Like, especially now. Now it's just like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Definitely, this is what's true. It's like she knows she's pushing the lie. Maybe she could have convinced herself otherwise, and it's like, nope, here it is.
Right. Yes. So it's like, that's where like maybe she's been grasping onto plausible deniability.
Right.
It's like I could say I'm pretty sure that's not what's happening because what proof do we have? It's just the word of Harry and Dumbledore and the fact that Cedric's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone just skates over that one.
Yeah. It's like, you would think
Cedric's dead.
Right. Yeah. It's like you wouldn't want to like launch like a full scale investigation into like what happened or
tragic accident, I'm afraid.
Right. Yes.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What was the accident? Can you at least describe the accident?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, what do you think the accident was? Why is it anyone having to pay for the accident?
Right. Yes. Yes. Somebody should be
I want to say Hagrid was about to get fired and Buckbeak executed because he scratched a student.
Right. Which was cured in like one day.
Which was cured in a day. Cedric is dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's another article in this newspaper. It's apparently a very good day to be getting the Daily Prophet, where we learn about the tragic demise of Ministry of Magic worker Broderick Bode, 49, discovered dead in his bed, strangled by a pot plant, which they actually have to change the wording in the American version. If you have the English version, it says pot plant. But if you're an American and you read that, you'd think it was marijuana.
Because I was going to say mine says potted plant.
Potted plant is what it says in the book. Yes.
Okay. So, but if you were a Brit, you might just say a pot plant.
A pot plant. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like a plant in a pot.
A plant in a pot. Yeah. It doesn't need to mean anything more than that.
It's nothing else.
Oh, man. Then we get a little piece of trivia here, which is that healer Miriam Strout, who was in charge of Mr. Bode's ward at the time of the incident, has been suspended on full pay, was unavailable for comment yesterday. But spokesperson for the hospital said in a statement that St. Mungo's deeply regrets the death of Mr. Bode, whose health was improving steadily prior to the tragic accident.
Oh, tragic accident. At least they're on suspension.
Right.
No one's even on suspension for Cedric's death.
None whatsoever.
None.
Yeah. At least
this seems like I'm almost surprised Hagrid didn't take the fall for this because it's like blast ended scroots, acromantulas. Those were all things provided by Hagrid in the maze.
Right. True.
Like especially right there at the end.
Yes.
Yep. Like boom.
It's like the last thing they really face before they go and grab the cup, which as far as anybody's concerned is approximately the distance in which he dies.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, what a stupid anyway.
I know.
Anyway, tragic accident. Yep. There we go again.
Yeah. And it does look like they've overlooked, because of the busy Christmas period, the dangers of the plant on Mr. Bode's bedside table.
And by busyness of the Christmas period, I want to say there was like 3 people on this ward.
Right. Yes.
There was Bode, Lockhart, the Longbottoms, and Catgirl, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. 5 people.
Right.
5 people are on the board, or in this room.
Of which we know Lockhart would be probably the most famous out of these, and the healer specifically said that he doesn't get very many visitors.
Right.
So what they were busy with.
What they were busy with, who knows?
They're like, we had like 3 visitors that day. Young kids from school.
What are we supposed to notice around here? Deadly plants or something? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm a healer, not a wait.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Let's see here. So right away, Ron is going to be like, Bode, it rings a bell. And Hermione's like, we saw him in St. Mungo's, remember? He was in the bed opposite Lockhart's, just lying there, staring at the ceiling. And we saw the Devil's Snare arrive. She, the healer, said it was a Christmas present.
Oh, they saw it arrive. That's unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah.
But it is directly on page, too. So, like, when we were going through there, we saw it arrive, too.
Right.
We the reader.
Yeah, and then Ron brings is like, how come we didn't recognize Devil's Snare? We've seen it before. We could have stopped this from happening. So that's, of course, they have seen it before because they land in it in book 1.
Right.
That's what breaks their fall when they go through the trap door. And they eventually like set fire to it or whatever. I want to say like in the movie, Hermione says it doesn't like sunlight, right? But I want to say in Mr. Weasley's ward, there's like one window. Which makes me wonder if St. Mungo's is not a particularly like sunlit area.
Oh, true. Yeah.
In which case, maybe the Devil's Snare really had nothing to worry about.
Right. Yes, it was like a surprisingly ideal environment.
Right.
You know, for something like that to go on its rampage.
Yeah.
And sure enough, yeah, it's sort of like why didn't we expect it? And it's like, who expects Devil's Snare to turn up in the hospital disguised as a potted plant? Like,
yeah, a pot plant, man.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And then Ron's like, oh, no, someone really should have checked that. Like, they must be a real prat. Why didn't they check what they were buying? And it's like, Ron, get there faster.
Yeah. It's true. It really is. It's just like, Ron, it was a mistake.
Ron, like, you've been listening? Harry's having dreams about the Department of Mysteries, and now Department of Mystery guy died.
Right.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Yes. Then you get a very dramatic line from Hermione. She's like, I don't think anyone could have put Devil's Snare in a pot and not realize it tries to kill whoever touches it. This
was murder.
A clever murder as well.
Yeah. The plant was sent anonymously. I was never going to find out who did it. I want to say the guy McNair, he was waiting in line to check in though, right? You got to have a check-in board at the hospital, you know?
You do,
Sign in.
Right?
Not that nobody used a real name or anything, but still.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I love that this is her bar for clever murder. Clever too. They didn't even sign their name. If only they'd done that.
Right, yes.
Yeah, thanks, Hermione. Okay.
It's like he pretended to be someone else so he wouldn't be caught.
Oh man, that was smart.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. And then Harry also remembers, he's like, wait a minute, I met Bode too. We've been running into this guy everywhere.
Right.
I saw him at the ministry with your dad. And Ron's like, wait, what? I've heard Dad talk about him. It's like, wow, you guys are all having a lot of memories about this guy all of a sudden.
Major
he was
epiphanies.
an unspeakable. He worked at the Department of Mysteries. I was like, oh, look at that.
Well, we're getting it all sorted.
There it is. Yes. All coming together, guys.
Yep. And then Hermione pulled the newspaper back towards her, closed it, glared at it for a moment at the pictures of the 10 escaped Death Eaters on the front, and then leapt to her feet. Where are you going? Said Ron, startled. To send a letter, said Hermione. Well, I don't know whether, but it's worth trying, and I'm the only one who can.
Yeah.
And then she runs away.
Yeah. So this is her going to write a letter to Rita Skeeter.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. To which Ron writes, Ron says, I hate it when she does that. Would it kill her to tell us what she's up to for once? It'd take her about 10 more seconds.
Yeah, to which I wrote, yes, but Ron, think of the reader. Think of the reader. You need to keep them in suspense, okay?
Right. We need to get another like 15 pages before we realize who she was writing to.
And if she told you what she was going to do, then Harry could have had a way better explanation for Cho, you know?
Right. Yes, and he needs to ruin that.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. He needs to not know. Hermione can't tell him about this because then he could be like, hey, I need to go meet Hermione Granger. You know, you were just talking about Cedric and how he was murdered by Voldemort, and how we were also just talking about how to Umbridge and how they're lying to everyone. Well, I'm actually doing an interview where I'm going to expose her, you know?
Right, yes, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I can imagine Cho being like, that's a great idea.
I'll come with you.
I was Cedric's girlfriend. Yeah.
And now I'm your girlfriend.
And then
actually, we haven't discussed girlfriend, boyfriend yet.
Like, whoa, hold on. Let's get some, I don't like labels. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Harry James Potter, so
right. Like, you know, the only label on me is the chosen one. You know what I'm saying?
Status, the chosen one.
The chosen one.
The chosen one.
DA.
Nice. Oh, DA!
It works so much better. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, that was great. Yep. So then they run into Hagrid. And once again, they're like, are you okay, Hagrid? And he's like, oh, fine. Just busy, usual stuff, lessons to prepare. A couple of salamanders got scale rot. And I'm on probation. He mumbled. "You're on probation," said Ron very loudly.
Ron is having himself a chapter.
He really is. Yes.
No subtlety this time around.
Yeah. And Hagrid's like, "Yeah, it's no more than I expected, to tell you the truth. You might not have picked up on it, but that inspection didn't go too well. You know, anyway."
Yeah, we did. We, in fact, did pick up on that. That was pretty obvious when push came to shove.
It was pretty obvious, but I also feel like it speaks to Hagrid's like genuine compassion for Grop, that he doesn't really seem that bothered by this.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, he does. Like, it seems like it's like setting him back and he's going to be like awkward in lessons and stuff like that. But like, normally this would be like the thing that would cause him to like hole up in his cabin, not speak to anybody. And
right. Yeah. Like when he has been exposed in the paper before, he's like really like gone to shambles.
Right.
And now he's like on probation. Like when he got, when with the Buckbeak situation again, he was immediately just like, "Oh, everything's the worst. I'm a terrible teacher." And now he's just like, whatever, like, I'm on probation. Not great, but bigger things, Harry, bigger things.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Family. Yeah. So
the fact that Hagrid's on probation quickly becomes common knowledge throughout the school. But to Harry's indignation, hardly anybody appeared to be upset about it, which that's also hard to believe. I think everyone's just sort of like, "Oh no, not Hagrid. Oh man."
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like, you have to imagine that it's not just Harry, Ron, Hermione, and the other Gryffindors who hate Umbridge, though.
Right.
Like, I mean, this has got to be a teacher who's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes it's almost like when that's happening, it's just sort of like, I disagree with whatever you did.
Right.
On principle.
Yeah. It's like, are the other students just like not nearly like as affected by it? I mean, this is one of those things. It's like what Umbridge is trying to do is just like normalize all of this all the time anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So, like if you're just like her regular third year student, third year Hufflepuff this year at Hogwarts, and you just show up and you're like, "Yep, third DADA professor," and she's like, "Read the book." He's like, "All right, whatever."
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Right. I mean, think about like any other class you've had growing up. I mean, you've surely had a teacher that is not the most inspiring before, that just basically gives reading assignments, and you're like, okay,
yeah,
doesn't really feel like you're teaching us that much, but I will do it. I mean, I'm here for 40 minutes,
Yeah, and if you're a third year Hufflepuff guy, it's like you're just sending mail regular. You're not thinking, "Oh yeah, gotta watch out for intercepted mail," or anything.
Right. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, Harry's also not one to like go out and like broadcast like, "Yeah, my owl got attacked, so maybe be careful."
Right. Exactly.
So it's like probably no one knows.
No, absolutely nobody knows. And yeah, you're right. Like if you're just like another regular student at the school, it's like it hasn't really affected you at all. It's like, "Oh, you need to like get permission for your groups." I guess that makes whatever,
I mean, right. And chances are, as long as your group is gobstones, they're not going to really like have an issue.
As long as your group doesn't involve Harry Potter, you're probably fine.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. So I bet most people are just sort of like kind of going through their year, maybe mildly annoyed, but otherwise just sort of like whatever.
Yeah. Like, did these changes happen all the time? They probably happen all the time.
Right. Especially at Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah. Especially at Defense Against the Dark Arts. And especially when you, like, as they keep saying, it's like you don't want to believe what the other people are saying, which is that, "No, the Dark Lord's back."
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But on that exact note, though, there's also like sort of the fact that it does seem like the story about the escaped Death Eater starts to permeate the castle. So even if not everybody gets the Daily Prophet in the morning, the word is beginning to spread that this is a thing that's out there.
Right.
And so it says that there was only one topic of conversation in the corridors. Now the 10 escaped Death Eaters whose story had finally filtered through the school from those few people who read the newspapers, which is, I guess I just said that. Yeah. Rumors were flying that some of the convicts had been spotted in Hogsmeade, that they were supposed to be hiding out in the Shrieking Shack, and that they were going to break into Hogwarts just as Sirius Black had done.
Almost surprising none of them do.
It is almost a little bit surprising.
Especially because now there's actually not any Dementors.
Right. Yes, exactly. Right? Yep. As Cho will point out later.
Yep.
And it is interesting, though, because it does seem like this is kind of starting to, I think, like turn the tide a little bit, which we know will happen in greater force as the school starts to like retaliate against Umbridge more in mass.
Right.
It's kind of like you kind of have to get everybody there eventually for that payoff.
Right.
The Weasleys' great exit and the fireworks and the swamp and all those types of things. But now other people's names are kind of getting thrown in there. You got Susan Bones, who had an aunt and uncle and cousins who all died at hands of one of the 10. And she's immediately like empathizing with Harry and his position and everything. He's been kind of...
It says like students who now found themselves the unwilling objects of a gruesome sort of reflected fame as they walked the corridor, which is pretty much what Harry's been dealing with his whole life.
Yes. Yeah. And she's sort of like, man, it must really suck to be you, Harry. And it's like, perspective is powerful.
Yes. And I don't know how you stand it. It's horrible, she said bluntly. And somewhere Madam Bones is like, that's right. All right. This ship is happening. All right.
That's it. Go. Yes. Finally.
Harry Bones is happening.
Harry Bones.
There we go. Strikes again. Look at her empathizing with Harry. Oh, putting her name out there. Throwing her name in the hat, That's
right. That's right. Yep. Good for Susan.
Good for, what? I'm kind of rooting for her. Like, we don't see she doesn't get a lot of page time.
Not nearly enough.
Not nearly enough, really, But, all of her interactions with Harry, they seem good.
So that's the new spin-off series that we need. It's just like the Susan Bones story.
The Susan Bones story, right? Yeah. What was her Hogwarts experience like, right?
Honestly, I mean, she's had a pretty tragedy-filled life herself, it seems.
It does seem like it, yeah.
So, I mean, she probably has a good narrative hiding in there somewhere.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess she's part of the DA, though, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so absolutely. There you go. So she knows Harry a little better. She's spending time out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It was true that Harry was the subject of much renewed muttering and pointing in the corridors these days, yet he thought he detected a slight difference in the tone of the whisperers' voices.
Mm-hmm.
They sounded curious rather than hostile now, and once or twice he was sure he overheard snatches of conversation that suggested that the speakers were not satisfied with the prophet's version of why the 10 Death Eaters managed to break out of the Azkaban fortress.
Man, that feels like so topical right now. I don't know.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
But yeah, it definitely does feel like the tide is starting to shift, and it's sort of like how many unbelievable things can happen before somebody's like, okay.
Like, yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Like, it's like,
I don't think this fudge guy's up to any good.
Yeah, it seems like there's maybe a problem here.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that are starting to make sense. This Dumbledore guy, man.
Maybe he's got it. Maybe we need to rally behind him.
Yeah, maybe. So now, people are sort of looking for that other explanation, the one that Harry and Dumbledore had been expounding since the previous year, to which about time, you know?
Yes, it's taken way too long.
Umbridge is not going to try and not going to take this lightly, though. She is immediately... she sees the writing on the wall and sees that people are maybe starting to turn. So she passes another decree, which is educational decree. What are we at? Number 26. Teachers are hereby banned from giving students any information that is not strictly related to the subjects they are paid to teach, which is just absurd censorship.
It's way too broad.
It's way too broad.
And so Lee Jordan immediately points that out, and he's sort of like, you can't tell Fred and George off for playing Exploding Snap in the back of class because it's got nothing to do with Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah.
And then the next time Harry sees Lee, the back of his hand was bleeding rather badly, and it's like, oh man.
Yeah, hosted by her own petard, it seems.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. What's funny here though is that it says his hand was bleeding rather badly. Harry recommends essence of Murtlap, and then later Lee suggests essence of Murtlap to Fred and George for the fever fudge, which ends up making it work. So Hermione makes essence of Murtlap for Harry, who suggests it to Lee, who tells it to the twins, who finish their product.
Wow.
There you go.
We get there in the end.
It's kind of a funny little chain of events there.
That is really good. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. Yes. So Harry had thought the breakout from Azkaban might have humbled Umbridge a little, that she might have been abashed at the catastrophe that had occurred right under her beloved Fudge's nose, which would indeed be the normal reaction. But that's not her reaction.
Yeah, no. Not so much. So now she's just trying to bring every aspect of Hogwarts under her own personal control, and it seems like the big symbolic thing that she's really gunning for here is the ability to sack somebody, which is to let them go from their position.
Right.
And the only question is really whether or not it's going to be Hagrid or Professor Trelawney.
Right. So now she's attending literally every divination and care magical creature lesson, which is crazy because that must be like upwards of. They teach. Okay. they only teach years 3 through 7 because you don't start until your 3rd year on both of these subjects.
True.
Right? But still, that's at least 4 years worth of classes you're attending all week in 2 classes plus teaching your own.
Yeah, it sounds exhausting. I mean, yeah, you're dealing with at least 7 years worth of DADA students and 4 years each for the other 2. So that's 15 classes.
Yeah,
that you have to be personally present for and not have overlapping.
Right.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she is really hammering down on them. And then this is just kind of funny or sort of interesting, I think, is that one of the things she's doing Professor Trelawney's class is increasingly hysterical talks with difficult questions about ornithomology and heptomology, which, in case you're wondering, ornithomology and heptomology are predicting the future based on the behavior of either birds or reptiles, respectively.
Okay.
Which we don't really see. They never study that in class. And yet it does occur in the books a little bit. Like even in the very, very first chapter of Philosopher's Stone, one of the news reports on TV is the unusual behavior of the owls.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which is that you could say look at the unusual behavior of the birds. What is that telling us?
Right.
And what it actually means is that Voldemort has fallen.
It does mean that. And I guess there's some question as to like, are the owls just sort of like out in full alert, or is that just like owls sending messages every which direction because there's a message that everybody needs to now send to someone else?
Right.
You know,
yeah,
so
I don't think
like,
that I think it's like the Grimm. It's like, it's not the cause of death.
You're right. That's
right.
a good point. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of it.
Yeah. And then even inside this book though, as far as their behavior of reptiles, we've seen like a version of like Harry seeing through the snake's eyes, you know?
True.
Yeah.
And then I guess whatever Quirrell in the movies is doing with that iguana.
That's true. Yeah. Whatever he's doing there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know how iguanas have 2 faces, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
They do have tails that can regrow. So,
yeah, right.
I don't know if that counts.
I guess could you count the basilisk? That's an unusual behavior of reptiles. You just don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of something to all those.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is actually sort of happening in the books. It's just they don't really mention what they are.
Then we switch over to Hagrid, who is not putting up much of a better show. He does seem to have like dialed back some of the more dangerous creatures, and he is featuring things like a Krupp, which is indistinguishable from a Jack Russell Terrier. Except of course for its forked tail. But he seems oddly distracted and jumpy in lessons, losing the thread of what he was saying while talking in class, answering questions wrongly, and glancing anxiously at Umbridge all the time.
What's funny to me is that it says that Hagrid seemed to have lost his nerve. Like he's like getting all jumpy and stuff whenever Umbridge is around, which is crazy because if you'll recall back in Hagrid's Tale chapter, like Hagrid is walking up to giants in caves, walking up to the Gurg of the giants, and Ron is like, "You did what? You were walking up to giants' caves in the dark," and he's like, "Of course, had to, didn't I?" or whatever. Like
right.
He is not afraid of that task at all. Hagrid is less afraid of the giants than he is Umbridge.
That is very interesting. I mean, and I don't know actually if there's a whole lot of truth to this, but I know that there's like the almost like stereotype or joke that elephants are afraid of mice. I don't know if there's like a specific reason for that. But it would be the idea of like a big creature being like afraid of like a small creature.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe there's like something supposed to be going on there because you've now got like Umbridge, who is described as particularly short in stature versus like Hagrid, who is obviously quite, large,
huge
in stature, by extreme comparison there. But I also feel like it goes to show that like Hagrid, like it's almost as if like the worst the giants could do to him is like hurt him, to which he's sort of like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that happens sometimes. But like, I think this is almost like Hagrid's position and like what he values in terms of like getting to be a teacher at this school and getting to like provide a service on behalf of like Albus Dumbledore.
Right.
It's like it means a lot to him.
Yes, it does.
So she stands to take away something that he values very highly and probably like an area where he doesn't feel as confident. Like he's been Hagrid his whole life. He's done, he has a hard job. Like he does physical labor. He works with dangerous beasts. Like he's used to those challenges. Like that's something he's acquainted with. This is something where it's like this annoying little pink frilly toad lady can take this from me.
Right.
you know?
Yeah, like she has power over him.
She does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating.
Yeah. And then you get this sort of like mirroring paragraph here. It says, it seemed to Harry that Umbridge was steadily depriving him of everything that made his life at Hogwarts worth living. Visits to Hagrid's house, letters from Sirius, his firebolt, and Quidditch. And if you go way back to page 159, you have this paragraph at the beginning of the book during the woes of Mrs. Weasley. It says, Harry found himself daydreaming about Hogwarts more and more. As the end of the holidays approached, he could not wait to see Hagrid again, to play Quidditch, even to stroll across the vegetable patches to the herbology greenhouses. It would be a treat just to leave this dusty, musty house. So It is like almost like this paragraph is the exact mirror of that paragraph from Grimmauld Place.
It is. And I know that we've held back to that particular paragraph a couple of times already. Like I know that we've brought that up, but I do think that I had the exact same thought. I was like, we've brought it up so many times, but this paragraph is the one that is like meant to be the counterpart.
Right. Like there it is.
Yes. So I think we maybe just jumped the gun on getting to the conclusion that the book was going to hand deliver to us.
Yes. Yeah. It does spoon feed it to you a little more than you realize.
Right. But of course, if you're not taking this strict level of attention, you might not be like, wait a second, back on 159, didn't something like this happen? But the other way.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so then we get a little DA check-in where it seems like everybody has been working harder than ever, including Zachariah Smith.
Boy, that speaks volumes.
I know, right? Tell me about it. But nobody was the improvement more profound than in Neville.
Yeah,
the news of his parents' attacker's escape had wrought a strange and even slightly alarming change to him.
Yeah, he had not once mentioned his meeting with Harry, Ron, and Hermione on the closed ward in St. Mungo's, and taking their lead from him, they had kept quiet about it too. Nor had he said anything on the subject of Bellatrix and her fellow torturer's escape. In fact, he barely spoke in DA meetings anymore, but worked relentlessly on every new jinx and counter curse, his plump face screwed up in concentration, apparently indifferent to injuries or accidents, working harder than anyone else in the room. And it's just like, yay, finally Neville's getting the glow up, you know?
He absolutely is. I've just got like a big, like, that's our boy.
That's our boy.
But I mean, there really is like, I mean, having that like full focused energy of like having the name of like the thing that you're so mad at and like being able to like funnel everything into like a productive outlet. Like, when people say like that, like, going for a jog or a walk or something in the morning or going to the gym or like whatever, it's like in some ways, like what Neville is dealing with is like a categorical lifelong, quest.
Right.
But most of our day-to-day traumas are not on that caliber, but that is what sometimes, like if you can go and properly funnel your negative energy into a positive outlet, it's like, it can be a great way to use it to your advantage.
Right. Yeah.
And that can be really huge.
Yes. And obviously it is going to be huge because Neville becomes like a very, very formidable wizard after this breakout.
Yes.
We also get to check in with the occlumency lessons here where Harry's sessions with Snape, which had started badly enough, were not improving. On the contrary, Harry felt he was getting worse with every lesson. Of course, he has so much to think about at all times. It's almost impossible for him to empty his mind.
And I think that's like it's a big part of the problem is like, sometimes I even think about this, like with like, whenever I've tried to like meditate or clear my mind myself, because I'm also someone who I feel like has racing thoughts all the time. And part of that practice of being able to clear your mind, I feel like is not just, sitting down on like a cushion and, sitting cross-legged and having your hands in that little thing and making the om noise or whatever. It's like, it's all the work that you do to be like to recognize the situation in real time and be like, this will weigh on me if I don't solve it right now.
Right.
It's like, I must not let all these things build up or else I will not be able to clear my mind.
Right.
It's like you start to like learn tactics to be like, okay, you know what? Got to nip it. Got to fix it now.
Yep.
Yeah. But Harry doesn't really have that advantage at this point in time because he's also right in the dead center of a pretty massive, epic long battle.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we're going to keep. This is definitely the theme of this chapter: is that neither can live while the other survives. Not that we've actually heard that sentiment yet, but it's like all of the groundwork for that is being laid out in this entire book.
It is
for all the ways in which like Voldemort's affecting Harry's life, and that is going to be how it's wrapped up when you hear the final prophecy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so then you kind of have this like, the age-old suspicion kind of needs to surface, because like, you know, Harry's talking about how everything's feeling worse, his scar's always hurting, and Hermione's going to suggest like maybe it's just like an illness, you know, it's like a fever or something. It has to get worse before it can get better.
Right.
And Harry's sort of like, it's the lessons with Snape that are making it worse. Like, I'm getting sick of my scar hurting. I'm getting bored of walking, you know, down the corridor every night. I just wish the door would open. I'm sick of staring at it.
Right. And then Hermione brings up, she's like, Dumbledore doesn't want you to have dreams about that corridor at all, or wouldn't have asked Snape to teach you occlumency. You're just going to have to work a bit harder in your lessons. She's right about this, but also Dumbledore could super avoid this by just being honest with Harry.
Also true.
You know?
Yes.
It's like Dumbledore he's trying to solve it in a way that doesn't involve him he's like trying to avoid an unpleasant thing himself.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. So there's a degree, I mean, it's like, it's not full-blown selfishness, because he's like, Dumbledore is trying to give Harry something. But I think if he was even a little bit closer to Harry at all, he would see clear as day that Harry's not getting to live the life that he thinks he's giving him.
Right.
You know, and in the meantime, it's just causing frustration.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Ron has to bring up the idea that maybe Snape's doing it on purpose, so that he's trying to open Harry's mind so it's easier for Voldemort, which of course Hermione shuts down. But as far as the reader is concerned, it like keeps the doubt door open on Snape. Like, oh, that's not, you know, what if? And it's like, you want to keep that door cracked at all times, because like, you, the reader, like has to continue to question Snape's loyalty the entire time because of how the next book is going to end.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. And it hasn't been hard really up until, you know, through the previous installments to sort of like have the outside chance to suspect Snape of something, because it seems like from the word go, he's not like Harry, and, you know, he's especially suspicious during year one when like he's sort of supposed to be keeping an eye on Quirrell on behalf of Dumbledore, and you know, you've got all that type of whatever going on, but really through like most of this book, we've kind of just known that like Snape's a member of the Order of the Phoenix, and so it's sort of like, well, I guess we trust him. I guess he's on our side,
doing us thing.
But here we are once again being like, well, maybe we do we trust him?
Do we trust him?
Now
we
hold on
this whole
second.
like argument with Sirius, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that, and then we get to our Hogsmeade visit. Finally, Harry's first date. Oh boy,
I know.
Here we go. It says like Harry had very little time to spare on conversations with Cho since they had agreed to visit the village together, but suddenly found himself facing a Valentine's Day spent entirely in her company. And it's like, oh boy, that is. Also, it's crazy to me. This is only the second Hogsmeade visit of the year. Like they went on This is it?
One in October, one in February.
Right.
Like
three
a year.
3 a year? Come on, guys. Like, here, you were awfully concerned about that permission slip for like 3 visits. You know?
I know. It's like you could spend 3 afternoons solo. Okay?
I know.
You would have been fine.
Yeah, how great can it be? It also baffles me that like once you're a certain age, you can't just go visit the village whenever you want.
It also true. Yeah. It feels like the kind of thing where it's sort of like, yeah, Hogsmeade weekend will be open to students every Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems like the shops there would be like, yeah, can we please get some business up in here?
Right. Like, you know, it would be really great for our economy is if this giant student population could visit every weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'd be down for that. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's almost wild that he hasn't had time to spare for conversations with Cho. Like, because like when you think about it, it's like they ended the first semester really by like, I guess, I don't know, snogging for half an hour.
Potentially, yeah. You're,
at the very least kissing.
Right. So this would be, okay, imagine for a moment, you have your first kiss with the person that you've liked for 3 years.
Right.
And like that is this big momentous occasion. That's like Christmas Eve. And then you don't properly hang out again until February 14th.
Right. But in that time, you do ask her out on the date and you spend time at the DA meetings with her whenever you're having them.
Right.
Like she's
weekly.
not like, you haven't not been in the same room.
Right. Like sometimes this is like the thing that always confuses me about like her and Cedric being like in a relationship, because like they go to the Yule Ball together, but like, you know, with just like a couple weeks left till the Yule Ball, Cho seems really torn up that like Harry asks her.
Right.
And she has to say no because she said she'll go with someone else.
Settle goal.
A settle goal. Sorry. It's a scene that we think is funny from the movie. Everything about this, really the whole Cho, Cedric, Harry situation. It's outstandingly hilarious.
It's hilarious.
But like, you got to wonder because like Cedric is at least doing like NEWT level schooling.
Right. And he's preparing for the tournament.
So like, which the second task takes place like in February. So it's like, it doesn't really seem like the week before the second task, he's doing a Madame Puttyfoot's run.
Right.
Like it's just like, it's like, what was their dating like? Was it all that much more involved, or did they go to the Yule Ball similarly on Christmas?
Yeah.
I know.
I guess Harry is like maybe seeing them like holding hands in the corridors and stuff.
Okay.
But it's like, maybe, I don't know, Harry, you need to make a little more effort here,
Yeah, maybe you can do the more hand-holding.
A little more hand-holding, which is going to be just like the worst thing that's ever happened to him in this chapter.
It really is.
Yeah.
But y'all, we need to take a brief pause right there to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Shopify. Let's talk about hindsight for a second, because after you know the outcome of an idea, it always seems to fill in the blanks of doubt you may have had beforehand. Like before doing this very show, before an episode ever aired, it was easy to wonder, like, do people even want this much detail? And the best part is that it feels crazy to have ever asked that question standing where we are now, but that pause beforehand can sometimes be enough to stop you from ever really trying. But that's why I love Shopify, especially for folks looking to jump into new waters, because Shopify takes so much guesswork out of it. They've got these easy to use templates that can get you a gorgeous looking website in no time. And knocking down that early unknown is a major obstacle in your journey towards launching your business. Then even from there, Shopify is built to scale. So whether you're taking a few orders a week or requiring your own dedicated loading dock to meet fulfillment, they can handle it. Y'all, it is time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Griffin. Again, go to shopify.com/Griffin. One last time for safety, that's shopify.com/Griffin.
Oh, yeah. So Hermione finally gets the owl back from Rita Skeeter, and goodness knows how Harry's day might have gone had this not happened.
I know. So yeah, and it's about time if it hadn't come today. Listen, Harry, this is really important. Do you think you can meet me at the Three Broomsticks around midday?
Harry's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Cho might expect me to spend the whole day with her. We never said what we were going to do.
Maybe we'll find some mistletoe or something,
Right, exactly. It's like, this is like one of those where it's like, it does feel like Hermione should be like, yeah, today's not going to be the day for Harry. He's going to be busy.
Right. It does. I mean, it's like, I know, and what she's doing is really important, and it is a massive blow against the entire Ministry of Magic, and it's like well executed and otherwise is a great plan. But it's like, even this part, she's like, will you do it? I haven't got time to tell you what it is now. And he's like, do you not have time?
Think of it
I feel like you do.
You just said all those words. I set up an interview with Rita Skeeter to tell your story.
There you go. You had time.
Yeah. That's it. To which Harry may be like, what? How did that? I mean, it's like, and then you can say, I don't have time to answer all the questions. Just see you there at noon.
Right.
And it would be like, okay. At least that gives me some context as to what I'm doing. But this is also where I wish Harry was slightly less oblivious, because I'm sort of like, dude, you gotta know how this is gonna go.
Right.
Like, I don't think it takes that much relationship experience to be like, I bet that my date won't like it if I have plans to meet another girl during the date.
Even if it's not another girl, if I have other plans in the middle of our date.
Also true.
Right.
Also true. I mean, I think that our group of friends was notorious for doing this while we were in high school, which was one of us would be on a date and the rest of us would be like, we should join.
Let's go. Go do that. That'll be funny. It'll be really funny for us.
They'll be upset, but we'll think it's great.
But that's what will be funny about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll all bond. Yeah.
Now we look back on it with fond memories.
We sure do, guys. We sure do. Then we also have a convenient reason for Ron to just not be a part of this trip at all. Because Angelina is just like making him do practice. So it's like, yeah, we don't need to worry about Ron this time. Get him out of there.
Ron is going to to be at Quidditch practice.
He's at Quidditch practice. He's not here.
Okay, but get this. This is another one of those where it's like, okay, it's like, I can't come to Hogsmeade. Angelina wants a full day's training. Like, it's going to help. We're the worst team I've ever seen. You should see Sloper and Kirk. They're pathetic, even worse than I am. It's sort of like, okay, now there was a reason why Cormac
wasn't there for keeper tryouts.
Right.
We've covered that. There's the oh gosh, what were they? The Doxy eggs.
The Doxy eggs, yeah.
That he ate a pound of on a bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. By Fred and George's bet, per our assumption.
Yeah.
But also like come Sloper and Kirk. Why is Cormac not here now?
No idea. Especially because in the following year when like it is perceived that Ron is not doing well, like Cormac is like, hey, I'm in, right? I'm in, right? I'm in. You need a keeper, right? I'm in.
Right.
You know? And it's like now there's a whole chant about how bad Ron is, and he's actually played bad. It's like, I can't believe Cormac's not like, yo, Angelina.
Right, yes. You want to let me on the team now?
Yeah, I could. You want to try me out? I could also play chaser or basically. He thinks he's good at every position too.
He does.
In the next, he is going to be trying to give Peeks and Coot pointers on beating. So why he didn't come out for beater is beyond me.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just to be on the team at all.
Where is this guy?
I don't know.
It's like he wasn't invented until the next book or something.
It's like that.
Yeah. It feels like that.
It does feel that way.
Yeah. But then Harry, of course, is having none of this from Ron. He's like, excuse me, could you please not complain about being allowed to play Quidditch in front of me? Because I would be killing to play some Quidditch right now.
That's right. It's like all I want to do is be out on the broomstick and go flying around and catching snitches.
Right. The irony is that if Harry was on the team, they'd probably be still good enough that they wouldn't need weekend practices.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point. So anyway, though, finally, Harry does run into Cho, who was waiting for him to the side of the oak front doors, looking very pretty with her hair tied back in a long ponytail.
How long do you think it took her to do that?
Well, I was going to say, I try to do Addie's hair, sometimes in the morning.
Yeah.
Which my only hairstyle, is what I call the dad hairstyle, which is a ponytail.
Which is a ponytail.
A single ponytail.
Yeah.
And I'm so bad at it.
Yeah. Okay. You're bad at it.
I am bad at it.
But I bet that 15-year-old or 16-year-old Cho Chang is extremely good at it.
I bet she's very good. She probably has plenty of practice.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they have this really, really great opening number where Cho says, hi, slightly breathlessly, to which Harry says, hi.
Yeah.
And I wrote excellent start. Exactly what I would have done.
Exactly. This reminds me on the old AOL Instant Messenger, as we called it back then.
Yes.
Because that's what it was called. AIM. There was like there became this like unspoken language where most conversations started with like, hey, what's up or whatever. Right. But if someone started with hi, it was like, oh my god, are you okay?
But I mean,
like, what's wrong?
You're mad. Yes.
You're sad. Something happened.
Yeah. And goodness, if it's a lowercase hi period.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doomed.
Oh, that's personal.
Yeah, right.
Just lowercase hi. That's just like they're just in a bad mood.
They're in a bad mood.
It might not be at you.
Right.
If they put the period, it's at you.
It's at you.
It's at you.
That's a good point. Run. Leave the house.
But you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get off right now. I'm going to sign off.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Door close sound.
Yep. Yeah. Fortunately, these are both capital HI. So,
Yeah. So we're good. We're good. Yeah. And then after a moment of silence, they say, well, shall we go then?
There you go. Nice save.
I know. Oh, yes.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Now they're not really going to talk for a while they're waiting in line. They're just sort of like randomly catching each other's eyes and, grinning shiftily, which is like, I do remember this kind of feeling when you're like, oh my God, we're actually here now. Like, what do we like? It was easy to talk to you when we were like doing an activity together, but now that we're like here to be on a date on purpose, it's like, now what do I do with my hands?
I know.
Oh my God,
I know. Yeah. It's like, I remember there was like almost like a handful of these types of things where it was like, it would be like the last piece of communication where it's like, oh my God, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I'll see you there. And it's sort of like just the enthusiasm expressing your excitement to see them is giving you something to say.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, oh, now you're here. Now I need other words.
Right.
Now I need to know.
I've forgotten all of my interests and my personality. I forgot it at home. Oh my God.
I forgot. I didn't bring any of it. Was I supposed to be prepared?
I have sweat. Is that good?
Do you want some? No, you definitely don't want some.
Definitely not. Also, can't help but notice we have Cho entering the fray, and we do get a mention of Ginny again.
It is remarkable how whenever there's a Cho and Harry moment, it seems like Ginny is like not far off.
She is not far off. Yes, she's over playing Quidditch, and this actually gives Joe something to talk about. It's like, you really miss it, don't you? And he's like, yeah, I do. And then they have a nice little like reminiscence about the first time they played with each other. And I was like, okay, good. I'm so like this is the happiest they're going to be though, is the walk from the school to Hogsmeade.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So they get they get to the Quidditch World Cup, and Harry's like, I couldn't believe how easy it is to talk to her. No more difficult, in fact, than talking to Ron, Hermione.
Yeah, it's almost like she's just another student in the school.
You should say that out loud.
Yeah.
That was just as you talk to us, Hermione.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, that would not have gone well.
No,
at all. Then of course Pansy Parkinson comes in and just I guess embarrasses them. It's like, oh Chang, I don't think much of your taste. At least Diggory was good looking. It's like, oh wow, cool way to bring up Cedric. You know,
I was like, what, like. Think about this in real terms.
Yeah.
Like, because you think about it as like fictional characters on a page. Think about if you were going on a date with somebody and their significant other had been murdered.
Right.
Like
was dead.
Yeah. And somebody came up and was like, at least the last guy was good looking. It's like, they died.
Right. I know.
You know, it's like, you don't bring that up. You know, it's like
right.
you put that ball in their court.
Right.
You know,
they
choose if and when we talk.
The Slytherins were rooting for Cedric.
Right, yes, yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, come on.
Oh, yeah, so really bad. And just sort of like throws a little like pebble in their conversation, which is remarkably effective.
It is.
So they, are like, oh, what should we do? And it's like, just want to check out the shops or something. And I wish they had just done that.
I know.
I wish they'd gone to like a Quidditch store or something, or just like gone to go shopping a little, but they don't because it starts raining. And instead they go into, or actually first, they see the posters of the Death Eaters.
The Death Eaters, yeah. And this is actually, I think, like one of those pieces of text that you have to put into the book, because if nobody on page answers it, then the reader will be irritated that nobody talked about it.
Right.
Because Cho is going to bring up, it's funny, isn't it? Remember when Sirius Black escaped and there were Dementors all over Hogsmeade looking for him, and now 10 Death Eaters are on the loose and there aren't Dementors anywhere.
Yeah. A Ravenclaw indeed. Yeah,
I know,
picks up
right?
on this so fast. And I'm like, what you really should have done, Harry, is this would have been a great time to just like start talking some theories with Cho, That would have been great. Bring her into the circle.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to be like my significant other, you should probably know all the things that Ron and Hermione know.
Right. Yeah.
Where should we start? I have weird dreams about a door every night.
Yeah. I have weird dreams about a door. What? And I can see through Voldemort's snake. What?
I can also talk to snakes.
I knew that. I go to Basilisk. Right.
Yep.
I knew that too. What happened down there? It was Ginny. Who? Oh, you'll save other girls from the Slytherin's monster, but not me.
But not me.
Like, when you weren't down there, I would have saved you.
I would have. I mean, I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do sort of have a saving people thing. Doesn't Hermione tell Harry that?
Yeah. Yes, he does. I think in this book. Yeah,
in this book,
because he's like, we've got to go get Sirius, and she's like, Harry, don't you think Voldemort maybe knows you've got a saving people thing? And he's like, what?
Don't say that, but also like, tell me more.
Yeah, tell me more, Hermione. Wow, thanks for noticing.
Yeah, nobody seems to.
No one notices. I mean, I saved Ginny. She's like, didn't even talk to me for like another 2 years or something. Right?
I know. Oh,
come on.
She does have nice skin now that I mention it, though.
Oh man, but Harry picks up and he's like, you know what? That's true. Their absence is highly significant, and it does make you wonder. Like, the Ministry must be aware, right, that like the Dementors aren't taking orders from them.
Right. Yes. And it's like, is this the moment that really like? Because I think maybe I've even like breezed past this in the past, like where it's just sort of like, is it like partially plot convenience where it's like, we can't do the Dementor thing again. It was too invasive. It ruined everything. Like,
right.
It was such a problem.
Right.
Because like realistically, it does not seem like you're going to let kids go to Hogsmeade weekend a month after.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, it's just flat out, especially if like the rumor is that they're hiding in the Shrieking Shack or that they may break into Hogwarts.
Right.
It's like,
and it's like, as far as you know, Sirius Black is still out there, still hunting Harry Potter.
Right. Yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And now you have all these other Death Eaters who have killed the relatives of other members of the student body,
right?
Who maybe they're coming back to finish the business on or whatever.
Right. Yes. Especially
Harry, Neville, and Susan Bones are not being let out of the castle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is really unbelievable that Harry's been able to go to Hogsmeade at all.
Maybe that's the kind of thing where Umbridge is sort of like, let him go.
Oh, that's true. That's true. She's like, of course you can go.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's like a weird like upside down logic problem where it's like, you mean I get to go do something fun? It's like, yes, but only because I think it endangers your life.
Right. It's because I think Sirius Black's going to attack you, but I also think you're in league with Sirius Black. So I've talked myself into a corner again.
Darn it.
No.
Yeah.
It's like nothing I do makes any sense.
It's almost like that.
So Cho suggests they go get coffee instead, which sounds lovely to me. Always up for a good coffee.
It does sound lovely. Like, I don't think that anybody has ever suggested coffee to me, and I have been like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
Because I always yes, I always want coffee.
I always want coffee.
The answer is
Someone
always
could bring me one right now, and I'd be like, oh, thanks.
I'd be like, yeah, that'd be really nice. If it's anybody listening, me from the future, if you're out there and you're listening, arrive at this exact moment with a cup of coffee. It was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot.
You never know.
Yeah.
Did some small party you think the door could open?
I mean, that would have been wild.
It would have been. Do you think other me would still have a beard, or do you think he would have abandoned that by now?
I don't know.
That's
I think you probably still have it. Do you think about shaving your beard?
Not really.
No, okay.
But maybe that me has a reason to.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe I'm doing a lot more scuba diving.
That's possible.
Yeah. Secret Agent Ben.
So scuba diving as it relates to your secret agent life, not recreationally.
Precisely.
Okay. Just so we're on the same page, which actually is page 559, as I can tell.
As I can tell. And also apparently still has time to bring me coffee in the middle of the day.
Yeah, right. Yes. Your secret agent, but secret agent shaved face Ben had time to come bring you coffee.
Right. But to prove time travel's real.
Time travel's real, which is something it doesn't think a secret agent should do.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, maybe that's why it didn't happen.
Okay. Well, but maybe I'm still a secret agent.
Okay. There's that. We're still holding a hope for that.
We can hold out. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we get introduced to Madame Puttyfoot's, a small tea shop that Harry had never noticed before, which is kind of funny because it feels like you sort of know all of the shops in Hogsmeade at this point, but clearly not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But although doesn't that sound like the most cozy place? It was a cramped, steamy little place.
Yeah.
Where everything seemed to have been decorated with frills or bows. Harry was reminded unpleasantly of Umbridge's office.
Cute, isn't it? Harry's like, and I just crossed out where it says, yeah.
Part of me is surprised that Cho thinks this is cute.
I know.
It's like, this is like high flying, like Seeker on the Ravenclaw Quidditch team, like Cho Chang, you know? Like I'm surprised that this is the type of thing that she would be into.
I know. It does seem weird. It also seems like Harry has bad judgment on this date, bringing up Hermione and interrupting his time with Cho to go do anything else. But I think it is poor judgment on Cho's part to bring Harry to the same place she went on dates with Cedric.
I agree.
Yes. At least, especially as their first date.
Especially. Especially.
Right. It's sort of like 3 broomsticks. Right there.
But yeah, we can go do butterbeer. We can get like little whipped cream on our nose. I'm like, oh, look how cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Right? Like that might have been a little bit smarter. Really anywhere. Just anything.
Almost any other plan is better than this one.
Almost any other plan is better than, why don't we go on the same date Cedric and I had?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's see here. So they walk in. It's full of nothing but couples, including Roger Davies, the Ravenclaw Quidditch captain, who was sitting half a foot away, or a foot and a half away, with a pretty blonde girl.
Maybe Maybe this is how Roger Davies decorates the Ravenclaw locker room.
Oh, you think so?
He's just like, this is like my vibe, and the whole Ravenclaw Quidditch team is like, yes, we like the frills.
We like the frills.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make Roger Davies feel very like Gilderoy Lockhart-esque, which actually, now that I say it, I'm like, that might just work.
I mean, he's clearly like a catch as he was going. He went to the Yule Ball with Fleur Delacour.
Right.
He is now here with a second very pretty blonde girl and will eventually be dating Cho. Right?
Does he eventually date Cho? He asks out Cho.
Well, he asked her out prior to this. Oh. Right? And I think by the end of the book, maybe they are.
Oh,
like
no.
a thing, right?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I just like blocked it, It's just sort of like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Roger
clearly,
Davies?
by the Deathly Hallows, Cho is sort of like back on the Harry train.
Yeah. And then Ginny's sort of like, no.
Luna will show you.
Luna will show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get 2 coffees, which, just great. Yeah. And Harry also, it says that he looked around, nothing but couples, all of them holding hands. Perhaps Cho would expect him to hold her hand.
To which I'm like, gasp, not hand holding.
I know.
It's like as if you haven't already kissed, man.
Right. True. Yeah. It's like you are getting your bases all wrong, my friend.
Come on, dude. You can handle this, right? Yeah. Let's see. But then also I gotta say, I'm not a real fan of Roger Davies here and his PDA here in this tight quarters coffee shop.
It sounds incredibly uncomfortable.
It super does.
Yeah, it says Harry was conscious of the slurping noises coming from the table next door and cast wildly around for something else to say.
Yeah.
But the thing that he wildly casts around to say is, listen, do you want to come with me to the 3 Broomsticks at lunchtime? I'm meeting Hermione Granger there.
Oh, no. And Cho is like, excuse me? You're meeting Hermione Granger today on our date?
Yeah. And then Harry's response is, yeah, well, she asked me to, so I thought I would. Do you want to come with me? She said it wouldn't matter if you did. And it's like bad phrasing.
Bad phrasing. Oh, wow. That was nice of her.
Yeah. But Cho did not sound as though she thought it was nice at all.
Nope.
Thank you, narrator, for the clarification.
I know. Her tone was cold and all of a sudden she looked rather forbidding.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. And then this is a few more minutes past the total silence, which is like, that is an eternity in this kind of situation.
It's like 15 seconds of silence would feel like, okay, that was a lull. That was a lull.
A few minutes, someone needed to speak up.
That's 180 seconds.
That's at least 180, right?
Yeah.
Like you're at minimum 3 minutes here.
At minimum 3.
Yeah.
And so at this point, though, Harry is looking at Cho's hand lying on the table beside her coffee, and Harry was feeling a mounting pressure to take hold of it. Just do it, he told himself, as a fount of mingled panic and excitement surged up inside of his chest. Just reach out and grab it.
Yeah, there you go. Amazing how much more difficult it was to extend his arm 12 inches and touch her hand than to snag a speeding snitch from midair. What an appropriate metaphor for these 2 seekers here.
I know.
I do remember that feeling. We were just sort of like, because here's the thing. What if I go to grab it and like she's like, nope, then I'll just probably have to die. Like
it's true.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
she said yes to being on the date.
To being there the first. I know, but it's like there is nothing doing for my 15-year-old brain that could have convinced me that this would be like an acceptable maneuver.
I know. Yeah,
I mean, it was like I went bungee jumping once in my life and felt less nerve stepping off a plank 134 meters above a canyon,
right,
than I did reaching out to hold a girl's hand for the first time.
There is a certain nervousness to it. So he sort of like lunges to do it, and then she like retracts her hand. It's hard to know if she like saw it coming or if this was just bad timing.
That's also there. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like you go to like do it. You try to like reach forward, and they like scratch their nose, and it's like, oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm glad you moved your hand. I was hoping to use that piece of the handrest.
Exactly. Cho, I have to say, not a fan of her response, though, where she goes straight for the jealousy card and goes, he asked me out, a couple of weeks ago. Roger, I turned him down, though.
It's like, what?
Hey, and Harry's just over there like has no read on the situation at all. He's just like, what on earth? Why are you? Okay.
Why would you tell me that?
Thanks for saying that, I guess.
Right.
Like Harry doesn't feel jealous at all. He's just like, well, then why didn't you come with him?
Right. I'm confused. Right. Yeah. She, probably in that particular situation, because it'd be like over a month ago that her and Harry made plans.
Yeah.
She probably had to tell Roger, well, somebody else has already asked me.
I know. I'll still go. You're right. Roger's like, I'll show you. I'm going to play the jealousy card and take some other pretty blonde girl, and I know where you're going to go. Ha! I don't know. How many other people in this bar do you think are like, this tea shop are like, like snogging right here, you know?
I don't know.
It feels really uncomfortable if it's more than one couple.
It feels,
you know what I mean?
It's like percentage-wise, it's way too high.
Yeah.
Way too high.
Especially when it sounds like the one waitress who works there has trouble like squeaking between the tables.
Yes.
You know, for some reason, I'm imagining this entire coffee shop is about the size of our set and there's like 10 tables.
I agree.
You know?
I'm picturing the same thing.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Plus, she's serving coffee, which is like not the easiest to squeak between chairs kind of thing.
This is another situation where you're like, there are these like expanding charms that make rooms bigger than the space allowed. Right. And yet you live in this magical world and do not employ it.
And you're not solving it. Yeah. They want the intimacy.
That's what I have to assume about Madame Puttyfoot.
Right. She's doing this on purpose.
Yeah. She is like, I want this cozy environment where teenagers come and make out on weekends.
No, that is not a business plan.
It's not a good business plan. And frankly, I'm starting to get pretty sus.
Oh yeah. Something about this doesn't seem right.
Nope.
So then anyway, then Cho keeps going. I came in here with Cedric last year. And Harry's insides had become glacial. He could not believe that she wanted to talk about Cedric now.
Yeah.
While kissing couples surrounded them and a cherub floated over their heads.
That says couples plural bed. Okay.
It does.
Like, if there's one couple doing it, that's like enough for every other couple to be like, yeah, okay. Pretty weird.
They've got the hold on that one.
We're all sort of like, we don't know how comfortable we are with this. If there's multiple people, I can't imagine.
I know.
Yeah.
And at this point, you almost have to wonder, like, because those comments feel like maybe she's trying to like get Harry back for like the question about meeting up with Hermione.
Yeah.
Like trying to make him a little bit jealous. But then she's like, I've been meaning to ask you for ages. Did Cedric, did he mention me at all before he died?
Oh boy.
And it's sort of like, oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. So we went from like moderate jealousy to like,
now she like turned a corner down her own brain into like real depression.
Yes, it's like now we're having a completely different kind of conversation.
Right.
To which Harry, it's like lie or something.
Right.
I don't know what the right thing was to do here, but no, there wasn't time for him to say anything. Do you get to see a lot of Quidditch in the holidays? You support the tornadoes, right?
I know. He's like, oh, feeble effort. Too little too late, my man.
Yeah. And so then she's looking just like about to cry to his horror. And he's like, look, let's not talk about Cedric now. Let's talk about something else.
Oh gosh, you needed to have the something else at the very least.
Yes. Yeah. And you've already covered Quidditch, so it probably needs to be fresher than that.
But this apparently was quite the wrong thing to say. Yeah, I think that was probably the right thing to say. I think I don't know what the right thing to say. Did he mention me? Oh boy, what is the right thing to say? You know,
I don't know what the right thing to say is.
I don't know. What the right thing to say
it's
is.
like all I can think there is that I know Harry really doesn't want to talk about this. All I can think there is that like this is someone else who was directly and deeply impacted by it, and maybe this is where you just like tell her more of like what happened.
I know.
I don't think that anybody necessarily gets to be pre-authorized to that information from Harry.
I know. Yeah.
But
I feel like that is something they could talk about, you know?
I think it is different from other people gossiping and asking and wanting a scoop.
Right.
This would be like speaking, it would almost be like speaking like with Cedric's father, like where it would be like that's someone in a very inner circle and you're telling them information to bring them some comfort.
Yeah. I will give it to Cho here. She tries to lighten the mood. She says, I thought you'd understand. I need to talk about it. Surely you need to talk about it too. I mean, you saw it happen, didn't you? So like she does tell some jokes. I
was like, does she lighten the mood? I see what you've done.
No, she doesn't try to let
Not at all.
I thought you'd understand. I need to talk about it. Surely you need to talk about it too. I mean, you saw it happen, didn't you? To which I wrote, technically his eyes were closed. So.
Right, yeah.
Tightly closed.
Yes.
Everything was going nightmarishly wrong. Roger Davies' girlfriend had even unglued herself to look around at Cho crying. It's like, oh boy, this is nightmarishly wrong. It's
right. It's like the two most inappropriate people in the room are now watching us.
I know, watching us, and you're asking me about the number one thing I never want to talk about ever.
Yeah. And then Harry's like, well, I have talked about it to Ron and Hermione. Nope, not Hermione.
Nope. Bad.
Only Ron.
Yeah. Not Hermione. Only Ron. I don't even know Hermione. Who is she? Never. Granger or something?
Granger. Nice.
Thank you.
Good save.
Thank you.
But you won't talk to me. Perhaps it would be best if we just paid and you went to meet up with Hermione Granger like you obviously want to.
Yeah. Harry's like, what? What are you talking about?
Part of the problem is his oblivious nature.
That is absolutely part of the problem. It's like the idea of himself being attracted to Hermione at all is like so outside of his like concept of like what could possibly ever happen.
Right. Yes.
He's just like, how could you even like, it's not even in my brain to consider Hermione a romantic threat to anyone because hilarious.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So then she's like, how many other girls are there right after me? How many meeting after Hermione? And he's like, it's not like that. Like, okay, now I get what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Harry, it took you too long.
Yeah,
but,
it did take you long, but apparently he laughs at this. He's like, it's not like that. Yeah. Oh man, you are dumb. I think it's how she hears it.
Right. Yes.
He's like, the whole tea room was quiet and everybody was watching them. I'll see you around, Harry, she said dramatically. Hiccuping. Oh boy. Wow. And then apparently, if you recall, Hermione, not a very fast runner, but Cho Chang, fast runner. Cho, Harry called after her, but the door had already swung shut. Harry gets up, throws a galleon down, follows her out the door. She is gone.
Just gone.
Gone.
He's like, no catching her.
No catching her, man.
Yeah.
Guess I'll go meet up with Hermione.
It's the only plane I have left.
Yeah.
Women, he muttered angrily,
Yeah.
sloshing down the rainwash street with his hands in his pockets. Why did she want to talk to Cedric for anyway? Why does she always drag up a subject that makes her act like a human hose pipe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gaslight. Yeah, it's her fault, Harry.
Yeah. I think you could have done better.
I think you could have done a little better.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I mean, I think you both messed up. I don't think she should have brought you to the Puttyfoots.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, Hagrid gets to the Three Broomsticks, where I guess Hermione already is, but he sees Hagrid first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he's going to be like, oh, it's you, Harry. You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine, lied Harry. It's like,
are you all right?
Me? Said Hagrid. Oh, yeah, I'm grand, Harry. Grand.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, those are just regular bumps and bruises, Harry. I got a hard job, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, the same. But then Hagrid gets like real, like deep and pensive. And he's like, in the same boat, you and me, aren't we, Harry? And Harry's like, did you also just get dumped? Or
tell me more about how your day is going.
Yeah.
And then I'll go.
And then I'll go. I said it before. Both outsiders, like both orphans. Yeah, both orphans. Which I'm like, does Hagrid have a lot in common with Tom Riddle too? I guess,
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
They would at least have had that in common.
I guess so. Maybe that's why they were friends down in the Slytherin common room.
That's it. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Both orphans. Tom, me and you.
Me and you knew we was the same.
Tom. Both like big dangerous beasts. Basilisks.
That's true. Happens to be the case that my big dangerous beast is afraid of your big dangerous beast, which is not the advantage I was hoping for here.
Nope.
But whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, he doesn't know it's a basilisk because Aragog won't tell him, even though he knows, which must be so annoying for Hagrid. He's like, Aragog, my boy. Aragog? Tell me what it is, man. Come on, tell me.
Tell me.
I'll go get.
You old so-and-so.
Come on, Aragog. Family, whatever you say, blood's important. To which Harry is equally, he has as little idea what Hagrid's talking about as he did what Cho's talking about.
True.
Yeah. What Hagrid is talking about is Grop. Yeah. Who obviously is just beating him up left and right. And, Hagrid's like, family's important. You got to be there for family. I left mine tied up in the woods in the rain right now, but.
And I'm here having a drink.
Yeah, we're having a drink. Got a rough job. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, such deflection by Hagrid.
Yeah. I do think it's important, or I think it's interesting, though, because he does say, whatever you say, blood's important. And it's sort of like, it's fascinating coming from one of like the like more positively aligned characters, because like, blood importance is like the battle of this whole
series a little bit.
Right. By which they, of course, mean like lineage, and he just means like family ties.
Exactly.
Yeah. But of course, to Harry, like, blood's important. It's like, I mean, like magically it's important to him because it's what's keeping him alive inside of Voldemort, and it's what's keeping him protected at the Dursleys via the bond of blood.
Right.
But like in his everyday life, the fact that he is blood related to the Dursleys is very like not important. Like Harry is a very found family kind of person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, 100% true.
Yeah. But either way, he's smart enough to recognize that Hagrid was unhappy and hiding something, but he seemed determined not to accept help. So like he just gets up and leaves, and then Hermione spots him. Harry, over here. Yeah, where she's sitting with the unlikeliest pair of drinking mates he could have ever imagined. Luna Lovegood and none other than Rita Skeeter, ex-journalist of the Daily Prophet and one of Hermione's least favorite people in the world.
Okay, so I'm glad you read it the way that you read it, because there is a way to read that paragraph in a way that sounds like Luna is her least favorite person in the world. Because it says, with the unlikeliest pair of drinking mates he could have ever imagined, Luna Lovegood and none other than Rita Skeeter, ex-journalist of the Daily Prophet and one of Hermione's least favorite people in the world.
Right.
As if like the and one of was the Luna
Lovegood. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure both of them are describing Rita.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. For sure. And then Hermione's like, "You're early. I thought you were with Cho. I was expecting you for another hour."
Yeah. And then Rita's gonna be like, "Cho, a gal."
Yes. Which I was like, is this big news? But then I guess she did write an entire article about Harry and Hermione last year.
It's true. And also the person that Harry's out on a date with was the other champion from Hogwarts' girlfriend.
Right. So in fact, I'm sure it would have been very big news to Rita Skeeter.
It would have been, especially because Hermione was the other person and she was supposedly in a love triangle with
Victor
the other.
Crumb. Yeah, right. It's like, oh my God.
Right.
The Triwizard Tournament. The gift that keeps on giving.
It does.
Yeah.
So much hot goss.
Yes, so much hot goss. But there, we get back to Rita. She says, Little Miss Perfect was just about to tell me when you arrived what we're doing here. I suppose we're allowed to talk to him, am I? She's like, yes, I suppose you are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So they go back and forth about Harry's love life just a little bit more. And then Hermione's sort of like, one more word about Harry's love life and the deal's off, and that's a promise. What deal? You haven't mentioned a deal yet.
And of course, the deal is that Hermione is going to want Rita to report the truth about what Dumbledore was going on about, but Rita's got to get that out of Harry first. Like, you stand by this garbage Dumbledore's been telling everyone about who returning and you being the sole witness. And Harry's like, he throws it back. He's like, I wasn't the sole witness. There was a dozen Death Eaters. You want their names. And she's like, I love them. And it's like amazing how fast and good at her job Rita is. Cause she's like, a great bold headline. Potter accuses Harry Potter names Death Eaters still among us. She even has the foresight to recognize that they are going to be prominent wizards.
Right. Yes, true.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, and I think that probably from her perspective, they will be prominent wizards regardless if they're prominent wizards or not.
Right.
She will make them be important because that would make the story juicier. But good point. Yes.
Yeah. But then she's like, oh, but Little Miss Perfect wouldn't want that story out there, would she? And then Hermione's like, actually, that's exactly what I want. And so Rita is like so caught off guard by this. Luna's not. She, on the other hand, is doing what? She's dreamily singing Weasley is our king. Well, what do you know about that?
Well, this is one where it's like, I know that there are so many people who shake angry fists at us every time we bring up Hermione. However, if you're not starting to see the Luna Ron connectivity there, or at very least maybe like Luna's interest in Ron,
right?
Like, I feel like you got to have blinders on.
You got to have blinders on. It's right here.
There's clearly something happening.
This game happened before Christmas. That's the last time this chant was really in effect,
right?
And Luna, here's what clearly happened is, if you recall, when Harry and Cho walked by, they could see the Gryffindors practicing on the pitch,
right?
Which included Ron. Clearly, Luna was checking it out as well.
She was checking
she's
it out
like watching Ron play Quidditch. She's like, Weasley's our king. And now she's still thinking about him dreamily. Not paying attention to the conversation.
No.
She's got other Rons on her mind.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So then, this is such a shock though to Rita. She's like, "You want me to report what he says about he must not be named?" And Hermione's like, "Yes, I do. The true story, all the facts, exactly as Harry reports them. He'll give you all the details. He'll tell you their names, of the undiscovered Death Eaters he saw there. He'll tell you what Voldemort looks like now. Oh, get a grip on yourself." And then she throws a napkin at her because she cringes at the name of Voldemort.
Now, it is really ironic that Harry, like, he just goes along with this. No problem. To Rita Skeeter, when, if you recall, about 2 pages ago, Cho was like, "You want to talk about what happened in the graveyard?" And he was like, "Not at all.
No way.
No way. I wouldn't do that.
Not even to save this 3-year-long crush I've had."
Yeah. I know. It's like, not 15 minutes later, he's talking to a person he hates about it, but wouldn't talk to Cho about it.
Yes, exactly. Cho, who was Cedric's girlfriend,
right?
And has probably more right than Rita to have access to this story.
But it's like Cho said, "Oh, you'll talk to Hermione Granger about it, but you won't talk to me." And it's like, turns out, yeah.
Turns out, yes.
Turns out, it's exactly it. "Oh, you'll talk to Luna Lovegood and Rita Skeeter about it, but not me." Oh, Harry, not a great date, apparently.
No, not so much. But so basically then the thing though was that Rita Skeeter, even if she's not publishing, does seem to have a very close finger on the pulse of what's going on. And this I think is where like Rita needs to be given some credit, maybe not a lot of credit, but she is like, as far as like the alignment chart goes, right dead center in the box that is labeled chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
So she is basically going to do what is best for herself. Like, you know, she could help Harry if it helps her. She'll help the Ministry if it helps her. But whatever she does will help her.
Right.
And so the only true alignment is not to good or evil. It is to Rita Skeeter.
Yeah.
But it does seem like she has full appraisal of the fact that the Prophet is not willing, that it's being leaned on by Fudge. And it's not going to promote anything that suggests anything other than what Fudge wants it to say.
Right. She even seems like she, like, despite what she just said, who says, "You stand by all this garbage Dumbledore's been telling everyone about you know who." Like, she follows it up on the next page, says, "They won't print a story that shows Harry in a good light. Nobody wants to read it. It's against the public mood. This last Azkaban breakout's got you quite worried enough. People just don't want to believe you know who's back." And she's like, it doesn't even matter to her whether or not he's back. You know, she's like, whether he is or isn't, it's like, it's what the people want. It's what's going to like benefit me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But it's like, also, it's like, it's against the public mood, but it's against the public mood because the Ministry have designed the mood by controlling the Daily Prophet.
Correct.
Right. So that's, you know, not great. That's not good freedom of press. But then she drops such a good like truth bomb here. This is like, she said, you know, Hermione comes back and it's like, "Oh, so the Daily Prophet exists to tell people what they want to hear, does it?" And she comes back and she's like, "The Prophet exists to sell itself." And it's just like, whoo, the truth.
It's, I mean, and that's like one of those things where it's like Rita is like bringing some like actual like world-wise wisdom in that particular sentiment. Like controversy, this is true for news. Controversy is interesting. It makes you feel a certain kind of way. It is going to continue to get you to be glued to whatever screen you happen to be looking at.
Right.
Because it works. And I think that's exactly what she's saying here. It's like, you know, I mean, maybe in this particular case, it's not controversy that they're posting in the name of trying to preserve a measure of calm.
Right.
Maybe, or whatever, you know, and this would be the belief that Fudge is just so... He's so blustering that he wants nothing more than just for like, everything's all good.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I mean, from Hermione's like perspective, it's like, ideally, yes, the newspaper should exist to report the absolute truth. And that is the reason they should exist, which is true. But of course, there's like always like someone behind it where newspapers are not like not for profit. They are for profit.
Right.
And so they, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, this is always the argument with news at all times is like, do you have like, are you writing stories that are more clickable or that are more like relevant but less clickable or whatever? It's like it's what is real news and what is getting you the views, because the views are what is making you money. And
yeah. So there's a really interesting TV show on HBO, if you've never seen it, called The Newsroom. Yeah. And basically the entire premise of the show is that you have a major news network who officially decides to not publish any story that doesn't directly inform U.S. voters on how like what is involved with what they're voting for.
Right.
So that becomes like the baseline standard for something. So if there's some type of like puff piece that's just like out there percolating in the world, but it has nothing to do with like what you need to know about voting, then we don't cover it. And it's like, you're not getting views because we're not covering it. But it's like, yeah.
Right.
It's a very interesting show.
It is a very interesting show. And it's just sort of the endless war that journalists are up against.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Anyway, though, this is when Luna finally enters the conversation. So we've been talking about the Daily Prophet, to which Luna says, my dad thinks that's an awful paper. He publishes important stories that he thinks the public needs to know.
Right.
He doesn't care about making money.
Right. And Rita, of course, is just like, oh my God, like absolute eye roll. Knows like has her pegged immediately. And is like, oh, I suppose your father runs some little village newsletter. And she like, 25 ways to mingle with muggles. And she's like, no, he's the editor of the Quibbler, which as far as Rita's concerned is the exact same thing.
Right. Yes. And her response is like, the Quibbler? You think people will take him seriously if he's published in the Quibbler?
Right. But it's like, the thing is, people are like, Hermione has some good arguments back. She's like, the thing is, people want to hear a different perspective. They want to hear from Harry Potter. And she doesn't say this, but I think she should, is that like whether she likes it or not, the wizarding population respects Rita Skeeter as a reporter.
Sure.
And the fact that it's coming from Rita is going to carry a lot of weight.
It will, yeah. I mean, it's going to come with a certain like layer of credibility, and this might be like where the rare occasions where you might see like a news story break, and it's like whoever for whatever reason decided to spill the story to a specific news outlet who gets the exclusive. And that's exactly what it is that it's sort of like, I was willing to speak to these people or this reporter or this journalist for this reason.
Right.
And they get to be the one who break the story.
Yes. So, and the fact that Rita has also like been like missing from the public eye for a couple of months is probably like helping her like mystique even in release, like, oh, this is what Rita's been working on,
Yeah,
right?
There you go. There you go. So basically she's kind of like on the edge of agreeing to do it. And she's like, okay, let's say for a minute I'll do it. What kind of fee am I going to get? Which I think is almost a good trivia question, because like, what fee was Rita Skeeter paid for her article in the Quibbler?
Oh yeah. And Luna's like, I don't think Daddy pays people to write for the magazine. They do it for the honor. And of course, to see that name's in print, to which Rita's like, oh my God,
no,
I'm supposed to do this for free. Then Hermione's like, well, yes. To which makes it outright blackmail. I'm almost surprised Hermione won't just pay her.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because then she does blackmail her, basically say that like, otherwise, as you well know, I will inform the authorities that you are an unregistered animagus. It does seem like maybe this particular threat needs to come with the like, however, if you do it, I will let you go.
Right. Like, I will let you go, or I will pay you, or something,
Exactly. Like, I feel like there needs to be like okay, because you can't hold this debt over her forever.
Right.
Like, I think that like there's a certain amount of like poetic justice that has been allowed to be served here, but at some point in time, it's like, okay, Miranda, you might need to like loosen those reins.
Right. Yeah. I guess you'd let her out of the jar.
True.
Yeah.
She did do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Rita, of course, knows that she is up against the wall. I suppose I don't have any choice, have I? And then Luna's like, Daddy will be pleased.
Yeah. And then Hermione, without checking whether or not Harry's okay with this at all, is just like, ready to tell the public the truth? And he's like, well, better the public than Cho Chang. I'll tell you that for
for free.
Tell you that for free, which is how much you'll be doing this for, Rita. Oh, high five.
Nailed it. Yep. And then, Hermione says, fire away then, Rita, fishing a cherry out of the bottom of her glass.
What do you think she was drinking?
I don't know. And it doesn't say specifically, but I also like to think she like leans back in her chair and puts her feet up on the table.
Absolutely. Yeah. Real, just as like, I'm running this show.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
I like to think she's probably drinking a Shirley Temple.
I think almost certainly.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
It's got the little cherry there in the bottom.
She's like from the Muggle world. She's like, you know what? I'm going to get real Muggle on this.
That's right. That's right. You're going to get owned, Rita Skeeter, by somebody drinking a Shirley Temple.
That's right. Exactly. And I have to say, though, for Hermione, this is an amazing attack on Umbridge and the Ministry and all the lies they've been telling. It is a very good plan, and it works amazingly well.
Yeah, I think that like I don't know that I'm particularly enamored with the outcome that she becomes like the Minister for Magic in the
the Cursed Child.
In the Cursed Child. But this certainly is a way in which one Hermione Granger with think about how modest the resources she has at her disposal. They're on their second Hogsmeade weekend of the whole year.
Right. Opportunities are very slim. She's doing it with literally no budget.
Right. But she is able to like harness what she has at her disposal, which is a small, not a small, but like she has something over Rita. And so she has a journalist who is capable of writing a complete story.
Right.
And then she's got like Luna, who, the Quibbler is also probably something that Luna's not going to be, that Hermione's not going to be quick to read herself.
Right.
But it is a publication.
Right.
It does have circulation.
I mean, it's the same as like exactly what just happened with the Death Eater article. It's like, did people see it initially? Like, no, they didn't. And not everyone's going to immediately just be like, oh yeah, I saw the Quibbler or whatever.
Right.
But what will happen is that some people will read it and then they will start talking about it and then it will spread around.
And I mean, I even think Hermione could peg the fact that Umbridge will ban it, because if there's one way to ensure that everyone's going to watch it, it's to ban it.
Yes,
absolutely. Then it's going to be like, well, why is it banned? I need to know. Yeah. And like they will watch. So yeah, I mean, Hermione pulling the strings as a 15-year-old with minimal resources at her disposal, effectively entirely on her own, is about to upend the Ministry and Fudge and Umbridge and the Prophet.
Right. So really great execution by Hermione. It's just unfortunate that the axe also lands on Harry and Cho's relationship.
Yes.
Yep.
But there's Ginny. So.
But there's Ginny, right? Yeah. And Hermione, whatever.
Right, yeah.
Who clearly Cho sees as a romantic rival.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not just us people.
Yeah,
All right. But that does bring us to the end of chapter 25. Looking forward to chapter 26, Seen and Unforeseen. Jay, before we close out today's episode, do you have a review for us?
Well, I sure do. Today's review comes from Marky Mark 0407, who says, awesome podcast. Hey, brother, this is my favorite podcast ever, and I look forward to it every week. I had a question. Although Harry learns and develops in every book, which year at Hogwarts do you guys think was Harry's most important year? What year did he learn the most lessons or go through experiences that allowed him to ultimately triumph in the end? Thank you so much for this podcast.
Oh boy, good question. So let's try to like comb through this here, because I think that a lot of everything Harry's selfless from a very early age.
Right.
The fact that as an 11-year-old who we literally don't witness cast a spell on page for the entire first book.
Right.
To go through the trapdoor, to face Fluffy, to face Quirrell, to do the chess match to the keys and all that type of stuff. It's like, we know he's got that selflessness basically baked into himself as an entity.
Right.
So it's like, when you think about the most vital moment of the series, which is arguably him walking into the forest to die, it's almost as if he's got that.
Right.
I mean, not that I think he's fully accepted he has to die from the very beginning or anything like that. But I think that he's shown characteristics, even going and fighting the basilisk, or, going into the Shrieking Shack, or, doing the Triwizard Tournament at all. I mean, all these things are just huge acts of bravery.
Absolutely.
So he's got that in rather tremendous supply.
Yeah.
So what is the most influential thing that he picks up as more of a learned aspect of who Harry is?
If you want to go year by year or whatever, in year one, you're right, he doesn't necessarily, we don't see him cast a lot of spells, but probably the big magical thing he gets really good at is flying.
Yeah.
So there's that. In year 2, he picks up Expelliarmus, it is the spell he uses.
Right.
That's probably the big spell he picks up that year. It's sort of weird when you're like, what all did he learn that year? Somehow you get through these books and it's like, how much does it really learn,
I know. Well, Chamber is doubly important because we also get the imbibed sort of Gryffindor.
That's true too. He doesn't really, he makes that happen, It's less something he learns, I guess.
But I think even the lesson learned to show faith in Dumbledore, to show trust.
Right.
That's another foundational
That's true.
thing.
That's more of an intangible thing.
Right.
Yeah. That's a big one. The power of loyalty, I guess. Then we got like the Patronus.
Patronus is a big one.
Very big one. Very big one. We learn a lot there about like outcasts in the wizarding world from Sirius Black to Lupin. And I guess we even started that with Dobby in Chamber of Secrets.
Yep. And also Hermione in Chamber of Secrets with the Mudblood.
Yeah, with the Mudblood stuff. / all the other victims of the Basilisk. Goblet of Fire, we get, we learn about the unforgivable curses. And more importantly, we learn like all the training for the Triwizard Tournament. So it's a lot of magic he learns here. Lots of like different defensive things he can do.
Right. Yep. Those are pretty critical. And it does sort of like give you a training montage, like a little bit, where it's sort of like, because the tasks are so challenging to get through, it allows, like, without having to go to class to like force feed Harry a whole bunch of spells. It's like, in order to prepare for the maze, he had to learn like a ton of counter jinxes and, curses and stuff like that. It's sort of like, oh, okay, he's starting to be good at magic now.
Right. Yay.
He knows some stuff. And then Order of the Phoenix, it's obviously this huge lesson of sort of like standing up to like the establishment.
Right.
And,
he starts the DA. Really becomes more of a leader.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And inside of the army, goes to the ministry itself, gets the prophecy, but
learns the prophecy. Yeah.
The prophecy is always kind of like one of the ones that I feel like like the ending of Order of the Phoenix has enough flair on its own to where the prophecy doesn't have to be that good.
Right.
In terms of like what it gives anybody in terms of like intel.
Well, it's not necessarily the intel, but what the prophecy maybe really does offer Harry is like the whole conversation he has with Dumbledore is like, got to? Of course you've got to, but not because the prophecy says so.
Right.
And it's like Harry finally sees the difference, where it's like, it's not, I'm not walking into the arena because I was forced in. I'm walking in because I want to be there.
Right.
Kind of thing. And that is a pretty huge lesson, because it's also sort of like what he does in the very end when he walks into the forest.
That's
it's like
true.
He's not there because Voldemort called him there.
No.
He's there because he chooses to be there.
Yes. And that's like the line that even has, that's a really good point in King's Cross Station, where he's like, I meant to. And Dumbledore's like, I think that will have made all the difference.
Right. Which is what Dumbledore told him. It's like, you've got to.
Right.
And it's like, but not because Voldemort says so, not because the prophecy says so.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a pretty big one. He learns a lot in year 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Half-Blood Prince, in terms of like information he learns that leads to his victory, he learns about all of the Horcruxes and the history of Voldemort.
Yes.
So that's all massively important information he needs to defeat his specific foe. But I might give it to book 5. I might give it to Order.
It might have to be Order.
Yeah.
I agree with you, because I think that I do think that's a huge intangible, is dissecting the like Harry's underlying role and maybe even that self-discovery of where he is inside of it.
Yeah.
And like even like Dumbledore's like own like, planting of like, yes, you can love. Like that's the thing that makes you different.
Right.
It's like, it's very, very frustrating to Harry. It's like, that's it.
That's all you got for me?
But he needs to appreciate why that's so important.
Right.
Like, because it is love that saved his life when Lily cast herself between Voldemort and him.
Right.
And like, it's, love that it's going to protect everybody else when Harry enters the forest to die on their behalf.
Right. And it's like Snape's love that is the ironclad trust that Dumbledore's been referring to this whole time.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And then you go back to, again, like the Chamber of Phoenix thing, where it's like, where it is faith that Harry has in Dumbledore, but probably I think that faith is also rooted in some kind of love, not romantic love, but like respect and, that type of thing. Like respect for the goodness that Dumbledore, I think, represents.
Right.
Is certainly there. So yeah, I think book 5.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Marky Mark. You got Order of the Phoenix, most important book for Harry's learning.
There you go. Who knew? The one that
I know. The one we're reading right now.
Hopefully it's not recency bias.
That's right. If you want to see us answer even more questions over on the Owlery, this week we will be discussing how memories work in Harry Potter.
It's a very interesting question, and sort of like especially inside of the pensives, like where you have the ability to like move around inside of somebody else's memory. How are they able to take in all of the details that aren't things they're looking directly at?
Right, like in Snape's worst memory, he's just focusing on his OWL, and yet Harry's able to see what his father is writing in the corner of his paper. Like, how could Snape have known that? He couldn't.
Right. Yes. So we dive deep into it, though. It was a really fun, just like magical lore question to tackle. So if you want to check that out, you can just go to patreon.com/throughthegryffindor.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you over in the Owlery, where if you have your own questions, you can also feel free to submit them there. We have a very long list of things that we are still working through and, trying to answer as many questions as we can. But otherwise, that's going to do it for today. Make sure you join us next week for Chapter 26, Seen and Unforeseen, here on Through the Gryffindor.
Today's episode was edited by Ethan Edghill. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.